Hey guys, Coach Jeremiah.
Hey guys, this video is sponsored by Kreiner Insurance.
With Kreiner Insurance, feel better about tomorrow. Use Kreiner Insurance for all your insurance needs.
Okay, welcome Coach Aaron, Coach Jeremiah, and special guest BC, Brandon Corey from the Bulldogs and Slip Rock University now. Today's topic is going to be best and worst tournaments.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, we just got done with the tournament here, so we use that as inspiration for a video and kind of give you guys our thoughts on good and bad tournaments. Yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, so let's get somebody from a younger point. Did you like tournaments or did you like just the regular season better?
I love tournaments. A lot more competitive, obviously, because you're competing for a shorter amount of time.
Right. Yeah.
And you're putting it all out there. So.
Yeah, 4 games in 2 days or 3 days is a lot different than playing 1 game a weekend. So
it's definitely tiring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's definitely
a lot of energy.
Definitely the ones who prevail are usually the ones who are most conditioned. I would say you have to be a well-conditioned team to win a lot of tournaments.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go into best and worst, but before we do that, make sure that you like and subscribe, and make sure that down below in the comments you put your favorite tournaments that you'd like to go to. So,
Yeah.
do you want me to start? Or do you want to start?
I'll start.
All right.
Are we starting?
Best.
So I want to preface this to saying, like, from a kid's perspective or as a coach's perspective now.
Either way.
Okay, so I'll say this: as a kid, the best part of tournaments were the hotels.
Correct. Yeah,
Like, I didn't care
Yeah.
about the hockey. Like, I was going for the hotel.
Swimming.
So this is my first
hockey.
one. Exactly. Yeah, all the we had more fun playing knee hockey than we did actually playing hockey. My favorite as a kid was we went to Dearborn, Michigan, and the hotel was huge, and it was the Hyatt Regency, which is now closed. But it was like.
Wonder why all the hockey kids destroyed it?
Well, I forget what I read about it because I just Googled this. I think it closed in 2018 for whatever reason, probably actually. But now it's gonna be turned into apartments. But anyway, we snuck into. They had this private room on the top floor that was like a party room.
Yeah.
And we'd sneak into the party room and then get kicked out, and then sneak back in and then get kicked out. So that's a favorite memory I have from that tournament. I don't remember who we played at all.
Right.
I just remember that.
Do you remember if you won?
No idea.
No idea?
We just had fun sneaking into this room.
That's awesome.
So
that's cool. That's a cool one. That's a cool one.
So that was my number one, thinking back as a player.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say mine as a player, and I didn't play ice hockey. I played roller hockey. So my favorite one was Newcastle. We played a team actually called I'm Score, and we went triple overtime. And the rink manager was actually starting to get angry because the game was running too long.
Yeah.
And we ended up winning on a penalty shootout, and I on a backhander beat the goalie, and we won.
Darn backhand.
Yep. That was my favorite as a player.
Yeah.
As a player.
Yeah.
BC, what as a player? You haven't done a lot of coaching yet, but as a player, did you enjoy more of the upper level stuff as a high schooler, or did you enjoy more of the kid stuff as a youngster?
I would definitely say high school. The trash talking is a lot more fierce in the upper ages than the lower ages. But I'd say my favorite memory would probably be the tournament we had here. When we won the championship. That was my first goal in that championship.
Let's see, that was your sophomore year?
That was my junior year.
Junior year.
Or no, sophomore year.
I was gonna bring up that tournament
It was
actually,
sophomore
the
year.
Bulldogs tournament. Coming here, growing up playing here, and then moving to Erie to play for prep, and then coming back and playing the Bulldogs, St. Ed's. Trying to think who else was in that tournament. It's basically the same tournament
Peters
every year.
Township.
Peters
All
was
the-
there. All the
AAA,
Triple A.
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was always fun. And then inviting people over to my house because they didn't want to drive back
Yeah.
home, and I don't know. That's a fun tournament.
definitely
That's
a lot of
really
fun.
Quick
Okay.
sidebar. Yesterday I was coaching with the Squirts, and we're going through the handshake line, and all of a sudden I realized that the team that was coaching the Squirts was the high school coach for Bethel Park.
Oh, really?
And I did a quick double take,
Yeah.
what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. So was that Nick Franz year?
No, that would have been.
Year after?
It would have been my junior year, which would have been Cole Weber.
Okay.
It would have been his senior year. He'd been the captain.
Okay. I was trying to remember. Did Nick France play?
Wait, maybe it was my son. I don't know.
He's 2019 graduate.
2019 goes. So yeah,
I think
that would have to be
maybe?
your. I don't know if you guys won it. I don't think you won it that year though. So.
What's your 2021 grad year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was.
We're 22. No,
I'm
he's 22 grad.
Oh, you're 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it would have had to be his sophomore year if it was the year. But I don't know if it was.
I don't know because I wasn't on the team when Nick was on the team.
Okay.
My first year was my sophomore year.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So
maybe
then
it was-
definitely
maybe it's
wasn't a year.
2018
Had to be. Had to be.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're gonna go to a kid, or are we just gonna go worst you've been as a player?
Well, I have one more from when.
You have another one.
I have another one.
He has two.
Yeah, I have another.
Of course, Coach Jeremiah has
You
two
one
best
up
ones.
us.
Well, it was when I played at Florida. We'd go to the Savannah Classic every year and like play in that tournament. And like the best part of it was like in Savannah, it's open container. Like you just walk around with a beer in your hand.
Oh, that's pretty
So
cool.
after the game, we just like leave the locker room, grab a beer and or grab a slushie and like
This
walk
college,
around.
by the way.
Yeah, this is college. And then actually, I'm going to in January. I told you about this. I'm going to that tournament. They're starting an alumni tournament the same weekend. So like all the players will be there, which I still know a bunch of them because
Sure.
so it's gonna be fun. But
What teams were at those tournaments? I mean, hockey's not super prevalent down there.
No.
So like, what teams did you play against in college?
So we played at that tournament. Florida State's there, Georgia Tech, and University of Georgia.
Okay.
So, but Georgia didn't want to do the alumni tournament this year, and there's Kennesaw State's stepped in for the alumni. So we played them. We played all the SEC teams.
Kennesaw, that's another Florida college, right?
It's Georgia.
Oh,
I
it
think
is
it's
in
right
Georgia?
outside Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was in there. So was that the cool part? The open container?
Yeah.
Cool. What? Of course it was. Open container.
Yeah. So.
All right. Excuse me. So let's go. Best as a coach. All right. Now.
Okay. BC hasn't done a lot of coaching, but just imagine what would be cool as a coach, I guess.
What would be cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll let you go first. What would be
if
cool?
if you started coaching this year and you had to pick a tournament for your team to go to?
This year is coaching who?
It doesn't matter.
A youth hockey team.
Yep, youth hockey team. Where would you want to go?
Yeah.
I definitely want to go to Minnesota.
Okay.
A tournament.
Oh, that's a good answer.
That is a good answer.
I would have not have put Minnesota on my list.
No, Minnesota would not have been on my list in January, February.
Yeah.
We almost went to Lake Placid this year. We were very
did that
close
one
to
year.
going to Lake Placid, but the housing, the lodging
it's not great.
It's unreal in ski
Yeah.
season. So, all right, as a coach, where are you going, Jeremiah? Or not where you go? What was your favorite?
I really enjoyed the Notre Dame tournament we did last year. I think I didn't go to OSU this year, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I think any place you can watch a college hockey game or hockey, any hockey game for that matter, is probably a pretty cool place, as a coach, to see different levels of hockey. For me personally.
Yeah, and it was so much. What was cool about that is not just was it you got to see some areas around, but we got to do a lot of cool things. And that campus is so big.
Yeah.
That you got to see all the buildings, you got to see Touchdown Jesus, there's so many cool other things to do. And then it just topped it off by watching Wisconsin and Notre Dame just beat the crap out of each other.
Literally, I have a video. I'll send you the video. You could link it. But I have a video of somebody airdropped
it. Yeah, they airdropped the video and they're right on the glass of this
with the fight at the end.
And
of the
everyone
game.
left. Everyone left because the game they scored an empty netter, and so everyone started leaving. And then with 8 seconds left, they just started beating the crap out of each other, and it was kind of cool to watch. Yeah. So, and then all of a sudden you saw everybody's phones go off because everybody was getting airdropped videos. So
yeah,
I did like that one. But I guess I'm more sentimental. So I'm going to go with the one where we coached together on that score team when Patrick Mahoney won, because I believe that was that age group's first ever tournament win ever.
I'm that team up until that season hadn't been. The year before, we didn't win that much.
You didn't win. I don't think you won more than 2 games.
I couldn't. I think we went to a tournament and lost. Which tournament was that?
That was the house. One with we even lost the house teams.
But we only won. We won 2 games in that tournament.
Right.
I think those were the only wins we had that season.
Correct. It was a rough year for those kids, and to see them come back and the parents, I have a video in which you'll see right now, the parents that took the videos. They were jumping and screaming, I think, more than the kids were because they.
It was a rough 2 years. A year and a half.
Yeah, it was a rough
to that point.
That was the Pittsburgh Cup.
Pittsburgh Cup.
That was Pittsburgh Cup. Yeah, that would have been 2020.
Yeah.
Right? That would have
Yeah, it would have been the spring of...
Yeah, late 2020.
Yeah.
So, no, it couldn't have been because that would have been COVID. That would have been 19.
No, because it had to have been spring of 2021 then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was after COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or well,
that was because you said it was rough year and a half. It
Yeah.
probably was after COVID. So they all run together.
Yeah.
So, all right. Worst tournaments. I can't wait to see all the comments on the worst tournaments because there's some good ones. Do we have the same one?
What do you have?
I have the Buffalo.
As a coach, yeah, it's terrible.
Well, there was just so many things that happened. Can we just go into that one?
Yeah.
Because there are so much topics on this one. Now, BC, you'll love some of these stories. You will love some of these stories. We get there. First of all, there's a blizzard on the way up there.
Yeah.
What a 2.5-hour drive should have taken ended up, for me, it was 5.5 hours.
It was four. I left right before, like, I was halfway there when the storm started, so I was already like an hour.
Not
in.
me. It was.
So I was like 4.5 for me.
We were going on 90. We were going 20 miles per hour on 90.
Same.
Like it was terrible.
Yeah, and then like.
Then we get there.
Yeah.
And nothing's plowed.
You couldn't park anywhere.
We're still under COVID restrictions, so we had to wear a mask even though we were completely.
This is late. This is early 2022.
Yeah, it was February 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah.
So it was frigid. First of all, it was cold.
Yeah. Even if you were vaccinated, you had to have the mask on.
Half the people were saying you didn't have to wear a mask, and then half the workers were saying you did have to wear a mask. So we had no clue, like
What
even in the
was
hotel.
actually
We were the only ones in the whole hotel. Our team was the only ones in the whole hotel. So there was nothing there. So then the first night, we had to wake up. First morning game was our game. I was doing the squirts. He was doing peewees.
Yeah.
Our game was at 5:30, 25 minutes away at an open rink in -8-degree weather.
5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
5:30 in the morning.
And
First game.
The best part is all the kids had bubbles at this point.
Yeah.
So they're playing this game and they can't they're breathing up. So all the fog it's frozen. They're
They're froze. They froze. So like
they couldn't see.
Their breath froze to their
visors.
And I have kids crying on the ice. We're talking about squirt kids, 10-year-olds crying on the ice because they can't see the puck. It was like watching the Bad News Bears on ice. And I felt so bad for them.
I actually had really good times for my team.
Well, yeah, you were inside.
But they were all like 30 minutes away, like 35, 45 minutes away
Yeah,
from that hotel.
The rinks were
and it's a
far
stay
away.
and play, so it's like
so
you have to stay at that that hotel.
But you guys got to play inside.
Yeah, we were inside the whole time, and people were mad about it. I'm like, this is great. This is like, I remember the year before we were outside, or no, 2 years, because we didn't do Buffalo, I don't think.
No.
But 2 years ago, we went to that same Riverworks, and we were outside like every game, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like, Bruce Boudreau with the hat, and then halfway through I'm like, I need like extra gloves. I need extra. Like I was so cold.
The kids were so cold. And then our second game, I know the Squirt's second game was outside at Riverworks.
Yeah.
And it was just as like sunset was coming in.
Yeah.
And it went from like you could play and breathe to you couldn't play and breathe because it was just it got so cold so fast. I think the high that day was 5.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was actually insane.
It was really bad. And then they wanted us to take a picture. The next thing was they wanted us to take a team picture after that game.
Yeah.
All sweaty, all fogged up in the picture. I mean, hopefully I have it. I'll see if I have it. I'll post it on the video. But the next morning, did you have any for that first day? Anything else on that first day?
Our game was at like 11:30 or something. It was like perfect time and then we had the rest of the day to like do whatever we wanted. It was like literally
6 a.m.
we
again.
were fine.
6 a.m. again back at Riverworks, and I got fuel line freeze up.
The only time it sucked is the last day. We had a game at like I think it was 8 or 9. It was kind of early because I woke up early. It might have been 7 even. No, it had to be 8. And then like we lost that game to the team we were going to play later in the day for the championship. So we had to play the same team twice on that short ring, and it was just like they had the squirts playing. They had the young kids playing on the big rink behind us, and then we were playing on the
small rink.
And we were like,
didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
didn't make any sense.
So I guess the moral of this story is just run the tournament good.
Yeah,
like a little bit like just be a little smart.
Not Buffalo in February.
Yeah, it's not smart.
Yeah. The only good thing that came out of that is that Andy got his first goal.
Yeah.
As a peewee.
Yeah, he did.
Andy got his first goal, and I wasn't even there because I was with the Squirts.
And then he scored again. I think he scored again when you left in Notre Dame too.
He might have.
He left because He scored in Buffalo, and you're like, oh, he already got his first goal when we were.
Oh,
in
that's
Notre
right.
Dame.
That's right.
When we were in Notre Dame, you're like, oh, he already got his first goal.
Yeah,
Like,
so
I'll just leave.
didn't matter.
And you're like, watch him score, and like the first shift, he goes down and scores. And I'm like, hey, Aaron, guess what?
Yeah, it was crazy. But
So.
yeah, I had fuel line freeze up the morning of the championship, and I couldn't get to ring. Jill Staff had to help me and get me going, and it took us forever, and it was just middle. And then home, on the way home, it was fine up until you hit Pennsylvania, and as soon as you hit PA, then the roads went terrible again. They weren't salted. It was a Sunday afternoon. Nothing was salted. That was the worst one I've ever been.
I think we both as coaches, and I can imagine the players saying good things about that tournament.
Well, they've never asked to go back. I have never had one of the players ask me to go back to. Are we going to Buffalo this year?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't. I'd be like, I was miserable.
So, best home tournament, best House of Chills tournament. What year? What team? Threw you on the spot there.
Yeah.
You want to think while I go?
Yeah, you go.
So last year, House of Chills tournament championship goes into overtime.
Oh yeah.
We had a shootout.
That was your team.
And there was a guy from Penn State who was actually streaming the game and doing commentary.
Who his kids weren't playing.
His kids weren't even playing. He just came to the championship and was doing commentary on his YouTube channel, and I'll link it to this video as well.
All right, if you're just joining us, we lost our feed. We lost Wi-Fi. You missed regulation end. Bon Jovi played. We're 2 rounds into the shootout. First round, Crawford scored. Second round, Beaver County scored. We're all knotted up. Third round starts here. Beaver County working their way in. Go to their back end. Crawford slides over and makes the pad save. Oh my goodness. Crawford Flames out to win it. Third round of the shootout. House of Chills tournament here in Meadville. Number 14 or 11. Hard to tell. His jersey's tucked in. He's a lefty shooter. He takes it from center ice. This is for the win. Everyone in Meadville's watching. He scores! Top corner blocker side. And Crawford goes crazy. The poor kid that scored is trying to get into the celebration. Then now they're going to go find him. Nope, he's got to go find the pack on his own. Go! We got spotted.
And all of a sudden, it cuts out until Maverick starts down the ice. And the commentary when Maverick scores and jumping around the ice, Maverick did at least, 6 circles?
Yeah, the guy's like, he has no idea what to do.
He has no idea what to do. He just did his 6. Everybody else was down there with Brody, congratulating Brody and Bryce Smith. And Maverick's doing circles all the way around the ice. So that was the best House of Chills tournament.
Yeah. I'm sure mine's going to be the year we had Patrick as a second-year scorer, where I think we got crushed the first game 10-1 or something. Yeah, but then after that, like,
that was the Buffalo team came down. Amherst?
West Seneca.
Or West Seneca. Yep, West Seneca.
And they had a lot of fun that tournament. They kept asking to come back. So
yeah, and they've come back.
But that was like very early season, and then like see the growth throughout the year for us.
Yeah.
And then to win Pittsburgh Cup like after
at the end of the
getting whooped in the first one. Like,
I agree.
So
I agree. BC, favorite home tournament besides the one you just already talked about?
Favorite home
because that's default.
Because that's default. Yeah, you can't use that one again.
I'd say probably last year. I didn't have a lot of tournaments when I was in CCYJ. But last year, it was against, I think it was Bethel Park in the semifinal game. And then Rocco scored the overtime goal for the second.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good
that
game.
The tournament where Rocco scored against Prep with like 5 seconds left?
Correct.
Was that last year?
Yeah, that was last year, right?
No, that was Michael that scored against Prep the year before.
No, Rocco scored, not Sam. Oh no, it had been Sam. Yeah, Sam made a save against Prep. Or no, when they destroyed the locker room. What year was that?
No, that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, so that would have been his junior year.
Didn't Rocco take the puck down and score?
Rocco took the puck down, passed it over to Michael.
Oh, okay.
And Michael scored, and we ended up passing Prep in the standings
to make it to the championship. And then that's when you guys won the championship.
And we won the championship.
Yeah. That was good. That was a good game. That was awesome.
That was crazy. Everybody in the stands went nuts.
Yeah, it was
nuts.
Insane.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the stands rock that much in a long time. So
yeah,
that was a good one.
Last year when Rocco scored against Prep in overtime, or not Prep, Bethel Park in overtime to take us to the championship against St. Ed's, then we got crushed by St. Ed's.
Yeah.
But I'd say that'd be
Yeah.
Yeah. Your second favorite
tournament I've been to. Just been here again, so.
Nice. Anything else you want to talk about for tournament wise?
No.
Any place you'd want to go? He said Minnesota. Place you'd want to go?
I think like unlimited resources. I think going to Florida for a tournament in like February would
He
be
is
nice.
reading my mind. South Florida in February.
Yeah, like
I
think that'd be
somebody
pretty sweet.
somebody from Florida. Send us a whole list of tournaments that you guys have down locally for squirts, bantams, and peewees. We would love to come down to South Florida sometime. So,
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
That's it for me.
All right,
That's
Coach
all.
Jeremiah, BC, and Coach Aaron. We'll see you next time. 814 Hockey.
See you guys.